WWE is paying homage to Akira Toriyama with this current storyline mirroring the Majin Buu arc in Dragon Ball. If you've never seen Dragon Ball or the Majin Buu arc, one of the bigger storylines in this arc is that Vegeta is unwilling to accept the fact that he is weaker than Goku, allowing himself to succumb to Babidi's influence and become Majin Vegeta. Now, Majin Vegeta, thanks to the Majin symbol, basically allowed the darkness that was already inside of him to overpower him. And it's kind of the same thing going on here with this little storyline of Xavier and Kofi and the fact that they turned on Big E. See, I think both of these guys kind of represent Vegeta in two different ways. Because remember, when the New Day first started out, they were heels and then eventually became faces. And I think Xavier Woods represents that darkness within Vegeta, that desire to go back to being a heel because that's when they were at their best. But Kofi is like the good Vegeta, the one that's willing to protect the planet, fight by Goku's side. Speaking of Goku, it's very interesting that on the November 25th episode of Monday Night Raw, Kofi Kingston dressed as Goku, whereas Xavier Woods dressed as Goku Black. Now, Goku Black wasn't actually Goku, nor was he an evil version of Goku, but he was portrayed to be that way. Goku Black was actually Zamasu. If you want to see that whole story, go watch Dragon Ball GT, okay? This is a technically Dragon Ball video, but not that kind of Dragon Ball video. And I think this is a great example of Xavier being the evil within Kofi. Because before the heel turn, the New Day were technically faces, even though Xavier was winning in not the most face-like ways. Well, Goku Black was this evil Goku that was harming Goku's friends and family, looking all like him, and people were like, is that Goku? People looking at the New Day like, are they heels? Are they faces? Because Xavier's doing bad things, but Kofi's not, nor is Kofi trying to do these bad things. And there's plenty of more evidence of this being possibly the case. Look at the chain that Kofi Kingston was wearing. That's the Majin symbol. Then we gotta look at his jacket. It says, never regret anything. At one point in time, this was exactly what you wanted. There's other wording here as well. I can't read it, but I'm gonna assume that it goes in line with what these also say. Who gave him the symbol though? Who put these wordings on his jacket? Was it possibly Xavier Woods? And this wouldn't be too different than Dragon Ball, because while Vegeta didn't give himself the symbol, his darkness allowed himself to get the symbol because Vegeta was way stronger than Babidi. Now, something I haven't been able to mention yet, but now I can mention now, is that the Majin symbol technically has the ability to control people. But Vegeta was always in control of himself, even when he had the Majin symbol on him. That's just how strong the dude was. And that's also how good he was still too, because he wasn't fully bad. And this is very similar to Kofi. We can see when Kofi's going at Big E in this promo, he's not able to really look him in the eye a lot of times. This is very much so seen when he tells him, you broke your neck, so what? He looks away when he says the so what part. This is that good in Kofi that's still there. You can even see it when Kofi and Xavier are about to shake hands. Kofi looks at Xavier dead in the face, more so in a way of like, are you sure this is what we were really supposed to be doing? Was this actually the right thing? I think we went wrong. But then who's the one that's manipulating Xavier? Who's the one that's manipulating this darkness? Who is the Babidi? I believe that that's Karrion Kross. Because if we look at Karrion Kross and the people he's feuded with over the past few months, we look at The Miz and we look at Xavier Woods, he was able to turn both of these guys heel. Why was he able to do it though? Because they already had darkness within them. At one point in time, they were already heels. He wasn't able to do that to Kofi though. I know Kofi way back in the day was a heel, but there's been a lot more times where Kofi was a face than Kofi was a heel. But now we have to ask ourselves the very important question. Who the heck is the Majin Buu of this entire storyline? Because a big point in the storyline is when Vegeta sacrifices himself to Majin Buu, this is basically his turning point into becoming a good guy once again. He wants to basically make up for all the wrongdoings he's done, because when he becomes Majin Vegeta, he literally tried destroying the planet. Well, I think the Majin Buu of this whole entire storyline is going to be Bo Dallas. Think about it. Babidi kind of sort of created Buu in Majin Buu. And he made Majin Buu to basically destroy the universe. Well, Bo Dallas is in a very vulnerable state right now with everything he's going through mentally. And we know Karrion Kross has this effect on people to turn them into a heel, and they're feuding right now. But we also know that Bo Dallas and the Wyatt Six are trying to kind of clean up WWE and get rid of a lot of these powers that believe that they're just much higher than they really are. So something has to give here, doesn't it? And it potentially could be Bo Dallas succumbs to Karrion Kross, aka Babidi. So then the ones to sacrifice themselves to Bo Dallas, aka Majin Buu, would be the New Day, and this is how they turn face later on in this whole story. Now, I got one final claim to, kind of just pin this whole thing home. Kofi, Xavier, Big E, and Karrion Kross are all Dragon Ball fans. I could see the potential being there. I could see that these guys went to Triple H and they were like, yo, let's do this storyline. It's an absolutely fantastic one. We got to do something for that boy Akira Toriyama, man. And Triple H was like, you know what? I ain't never watched Dragon Ball, but let's go sit down and watch this dang arc together. And then after they did, Triple H was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. I like that. That right there was peak. We gonna do that. Man, I love this. Anime, wrestling, my two favorite things coming together, man. This is beautiful, man. But y'all go ahead and let me know down below. How do y'all feel about the whole New Day storyline that has played out so far? How'd you feel about, Kofi and Xavier Woods turning their backs on their brother Big E? How you feel about the potential of this being a whole Dragon Ball saga? And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe for more.